We are approaching the holiday season, and as we get closer to the launch of the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, one big question still remains: what will the price be? Welcome everybody, and thank you for joining me. The price of the next generation console is something we still do not know. Even though we do not know what the price of these consoles will be, there is a bunch of leaks and information floating around. Now, a recent leak or rumor suggests that the Xbox Series X will only be $400 and the Xbox Series S will be $200. Honestly, $400 I can still wrap my head around, but $200 for the Xbox Series S just seems a bit low. If that console is in fact $200, I'm just buying 3 of them and stacking them on top of each other. At this point it feels like Sony and Microsoft is playing a bit of chicken with each other, but one of these companies will have to break soon and reveal their price. If the rumors are to be believed, both should reveal their price and release date in August. During the launch of the current generation console, the PlayStation 4 was $100 cheaper than the Xbox One, and that is something that Microsoft just never recovered from, but it does look like a lesson was learned from that. Reports suggest Microsoft is very determined to undercut the price of the PlayStation 5, which is why they are waiting on Sony to unveil their price first, and then they will come out and announce their price, which will be between $50 and $100 cheaper. Phil Spencer pretty much confirmed that in a few of his interviews as well. Not outright, but in between the lines. This is something that Microsoft can afford to do. They will take a hit on the console sales, but they will make that money back again from subscriptions to Game Pass. That is a big reason why people say that it won't be PlayStation 5 versus Xbox Series X, but rather PlayStation 5 versus Game Pass. Now, a company insider, Dust Gollum, came out and he had the following to say. He is a person who has predicted many things correctly in the past. Microsoft is preparing to lowball Sony, a luxury it can afford thanks to massive piles of cash it's sitting on. The strategy here would be to get players into the ecosystem and then make the loss back via software sales and Game Pass subscriptions. I mean this in a few more ways, but I will give the broadest idea. I'll just say the Xbox X will by far be more powerful than the PlayStation 5 if we're just talking raw power. Multi-platform games will run better on Xbox X is something people will have to prepare themselves for. Add to this, Microsoft are ready to lowball Sony when it comes to price. They can more easily make a sacrifice and get back profits from Game Pass than console sales than Sony can from that comparatively. That's a poorly written sentence, but I'm sure you guys get the idea. Now again, that is something that I think we all know at this point. I think both consoles are preparing to make the cost as cheap as possible, but Microsoft can afford to just go a bit lower than that. That is largely due to their business plan next generation. Sony is going all out on exclusive games. We already know that they hold a huge advantage over Microsoft in that regard, but Sony is not just focusing on new third-party IPs that will be exclusive to PlayStation, but they are also forking over huge sums of money for times exclusivity with huge existing titles. Games sell, and the PlayStation 4 outsold Xbox 3-1, which is why Sony will go all out on games, but great services also sell, which is why Microsoft outsold Sony 10-1 with Game Pass. It is clear that both companies have a very different business plan going forward, but people value graphics a lot, and if you combine that with great price, Xbox might just have what it takes to close the gap with Sony in terms of units sold. As of right now, reports suggest Sony will outsell Xbox 2-1, but I guess we will just have to wait and see. On that note, this is where I'm going to end it. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you would like to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing, and as always, please remember to stay safe, wash your hands, don't touch your face, and I hope to see you again soon.